Hey y'all, happy Monday. Welcome to Solving Your Stress mini-series. It's another week and I'm totally stressed out right now because it's the afternoon and I promised you all that I'd be doing this over lunchtime, so I beg your forgiveness. A conference call turned into a vet appointment, turned into you know what else called life. So my apologies. I'm here with you now, as well as here's Frodo. Say hi, Fro. Say hi. He says hello. And so again, please accept my sincerest apologies. I will be with you lunchtime on Mondays, solving your stress. And these are questions that you guys submitted to me. Now, every week, I start off with the basic tenets of really the simplified version of how to solve your stress. And the way that you do that, the way that I do that, and I learned this from a lot of very cool people who shared the same information with me in the veteran community space, is detach, prioritize, and execute. So if you remember nothing and take away nothing from any of these videos except those 3 steps when dealing with stress, detach, prioritize, and execute, then I've done my job and you're good to go. So what do we mean by detach, prioritize, and execute? Well, when something causes us stress, we need to take a step back. So we need to breathe, we need to take a walk, we need to separate ourselves, whatever separate looks like, and kind of get that higher vision picture of what's going on, so we don't get emotionally attached to it, because stress, as I've talked about before, is a visceral reaction. We can actually feel it in our bodies. Everybody's different, and so if we can calm ourselves down and detach from it, we can come at the next phase, which is prioritize. The next step, by looking at what are the things that lay in front of us, pick the next thing that we need to do. Just one. It's just one thing. Okay? So detach, prioritize, what's that one thing, and then execute on that one thing. So there you go. Detach, prioritize, and execute. And this week, the question is, I feel stressed around public speaking. If I have to speak in public. Welcome to the club. That's awesome. First of all, public speaking is ranked like number 1, I think, in the things that are the biggest fears. And fear, as we know, causes stress. And why does that happen? Well, that's our fight or flight taking over. We naturally, as human beings, do not want to be placed in uncomfortable situations. See, when our primitive brains changed a long time ago, because we're not fighting dinosaurs or anything like that, our brains are still wired like that. So when we encounter fear, our brain still has the same chemical reaction, the same release of hormones that our primitive ancestors did way back in caveman, thinking that we have to fight a dinosaur. And public speaking for some people is like fighting a dinosaur. I've been there. I'm spending years behind the scenes as a Secret Service agent in law enforcement. I was never comfortable up front. So when it was my time to be out front, and I really had to train myself, just like you train anything, like training for a marathon, studying for a test. You're training yourself to be more comfortable with that situation. I wouldn't say 100% comfortable. Even when I started doing Facebook Lives, I mean, I would start sweating and everything. And it's practice. It's doing it over and over and over again until now it's just like I feel like I'm having an awesome conversation with you guys. You're submitting the questions. I'm helping to answer the questions. And yeah, it's all good. So How do you get over the stress of public speaking? You do it a lot. You go through sweating, you go through stammering, you go from having to read the notes on your note card, and then it happens. And of course everybody sees the finished product, which is you making it look easy, not even realizing how many months and years it really took to hone in on your speaking craft. And I've been speaking for 2.5 years now, soon to be 3 coming up here, and I'm no expert, and like I said, always get nervous. I think that's healthy, and it will always be something that I will practice and hone, and as my message remains consistent, the delivery may change depending on the group, so it's okay. And I would say being healthfully stressed over public speaking is completely normal. We all want to do a good job, and a lot of that stress is self-induced, because we have a vision of how we want it to go. 99% of the time, I'll tell you, it doesn't go the way you perceive it in your mind. So just get comfortable with that. That's the fun part, actually. And with that, just know that it's okay. Because while you feel that you're up there and everybody's looking at you and everybody's judging you, really it's about crafting your message and telling your story the best way you know how. That's all that counts. Because I guarantee you will change somebody's life sitting in that audience with your story. And if you can approach the public speaking in that way, in that you know in your heart, whether it's, even if it's one person, that you're going to have an impact on their life, then it's all worth it. So just throw this perfectionism out the window. Just throw it out the window, and let some stress lift off your shoulders for that. So again, if you're stressed out over public speaking, you and 8 bazillion other people in the same boat. And like with anything, again, it's all about practice, practice, practice. In the Secret Service, we practice like we played. Really, that's something for life. Practice the way you're gonna play. And I appreciate that question, guys. If you have comments, if you have other suggestions, please submit it in the comments connected to the video below. You can reach out to me and submit your questions. We have fantastic questions that just keep coming in every week, and I'm going to cover them right here with you live each Monday. And so remember, guys, when it comes to stress, detach, prioritize, and execute. And don't let that fear of being perfect prevent you from getting out there and speaking to people and telling your story, because you have a story to tell and you have lives to change. So until next time, guys, thank you for tuning in each week, and I will see you next week. Sam out.